Hey, to all my hoopers out here that's watching the vid, I got something for us, man. You know what I'm saying? How to score on lockdown defense by any means basketball. You can give us a little breakdown real quick. Let's tune in.
So no matter who we are, we will have those times where we're going to be defended by a good defender, by somebody who we feel like is kind of locking us up. The best offensive players are able to still score on those good defenders and do it in a way that's super composed, calm, collected. Because at the end of the day, if you want to keep moving up the level of your offensive play, your scoring ability, you're probably going to be defended by better defenders, right?
Yeah.
Just how it works. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a full breakdown on how to score on good defense, how to have those good D, better O moments that we see from the best scorers, the most elite players at any level. So without further ado, let's get into it.
You gotta just stay calm for real, catch your own pace. Don't let that shit mess you up. Still take what they're giving you.
So number one is being able to use composed contact, right? And I say composed because I'm not talking about just flailing or throwing yourself at that defender. I'm talking about using this strategically, being controlled with that contact. So the thing is, most times when you're being
twice
by a good player, there's going to be a little bit of contact going on. Maybe you try to drive by them and they take that contact to the chest.
That's a tough shot.
There's going to be a little bit of contact going on. Maybe you try to drive by them and they take that contact to the chest and you feel like you just can't get by them. It's a brick wall. So the players who are able to score on good defenders are able to use this contact to their advantage. They're able to get into that defender and then bounce out using that contact to separate. They're able to take a tight angle, right? Get that shoulder by that hip, maybe give a little bump on the way to the basket and use the idea of initiating contact to their advantage without doing it in a way that gets them out of control. So I guess the easiest way to think about this, and I talk about this all the time, plenty of other videos, is just being the one to initiate that contact. If you win the contact battle, chances are it's going to be a lot easier to score. And this includes the off arm as well. If you're playing against a good defender, most times they'll have a hand in there, right? They're going to be trying to reach for the ball. Maybe they'll have a hand on you, like a little arm bar. So welcome that in and then use that hand back. Use that off arm to your advantage. Swipe that hand away. Maybe get a little leverage and send them backwards as you drive by them. Basketball at the end of the day is a contact sport. And I know I'm going to get some hate saying it's a foul, whatever. But if you look at the best players, again, at any level, they're using that off arm to their advantage. So make sure that you're doing this as well. Number two is not getting sped up. Whenever we play against good defense, we have a tendency to speed up a little bit, right? To just try to use that raw force and athleticism and speed to just drive by a defender as fast as we can. Because we feel like if we can beat them with our speed, if we go faster than them, then we're going to be able to score on them, or we're going to be able to get out of that situation. In reality, that's going to be tough to do. Even if you do beat them, you're going to be out of control going into that help defense, or going into that finish, going into that shot. So instead of just trying to go harder to get out of these situations, you actually want to be more composed, right? And use that speed or slower speed to your advantage. We not only see this with the Luka Doncic's of the world, but also plenty of other players who, when they're getting pressured, they're able to slow down, keep that composure, change speeds a little bit, but also not get sped up. And that leads me into number three, which is to switch up the timing a bit. And this can be applied to a ton of different concepts. Taking that last example, we can apply it to our speed, right? Maybe we're going fast, we feel like we're getting locked up a little bit, so we slow back down. That kind of throws off their mental time, their mental clock.
Now him, that nigga, Rob Dillingham has been growing on me. I ain't even gonna lie. I thought Rob used to be tight mid. I thought Rob was overrated. Boy, Rob athletic as hell. Boy, that nigga Rob quick as shit.
For that defender, and then we speed back up from there or get into a shot, whatever.
Rob is tough. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's say we take a couple dribbles, we can't really get by them. So instead of keeping that same rhythm, we switch up that timing and go from there. This could be switching up the timing of your footwork. So maybe rather than getting into your typical 1-2.
Hey, and this little move right here. Oh my gosh! As soon as you do this, I'm talking about I'm hitting the crazy hezzy left hand. Oh my gosh, the crazy left hand, the crazy hezzy is happening right after that.
Timing of your footwork,
like every
keeping
time
that same rhythm, we switch up that timing and go from there. This could be switching up the timing of your footwork. So maybe rather than getting into your typical 1-2, you slow it down a little bit to throw off the timing of the contest, or maybe you go a little bit faster and go with an outside inside, which they're not expecting. Again, they're trying to time it up. And when you throw off that timing, it's going to be tough for them to defend. Or even at the basket, you use one of what I call a quicksand finish. So you're going full speed towards that rim, and then you kind of slow down, switch up the timing, and finish from there as you let them pass
That be
by.
calling that
So
shit
again,
put
this
noise
goes
stuff
back to maintaining
when
your
you like
composure,
slow down,
trying to
put
be
that first one, and
unpredictable
then
rather than
like
just trying
slow.
to blow by them at full force. Next one here is going to be freeing up space to operate. So a lot of the time, especially when we have our
All that
space
letting
kind of
be doing to put
suffocated
noise
by
stuff to a
defender,
dunk.
they're really
Boy,
up
yeah,
playing
crazy.
aggressive, uptight defense. All we need to do is separate backwards or to the side, just create some form of space so that we can attack from there. Plus, a lot of the time when we do this, now they're going to be chasing us. Right?
That's one of my
We can
favorite
attack
moves.
from there.
This
Plus,
is one of my
backwards
favorite moves,
to the
especially
side,
on a good defender. I'm talking about
create
pushing
some
to his
form
body, step back
of space
into the hezzy right there.
so that we can attack from there. Plus, a lot of the time when we do this,
attack the defense,
now
float. I'm talking about float, but he nice. He's a college guard, nice. He has enough body control. I'm afraid of this nigga I'm gonna get blocked. I'm floating that bitch up. But he finishes
us,
nice
right?
with the
Most
left.
times they're a little bit
Elite
overzealous.
score.
So if you imagine yourself going
Elite.
backwards
That
and they're chasing
alone,
you from there,
elite
they're
score.
coming out towards
I can
you.
tell.
Now you can win this momentum.
I mean, he's a
back.
college.
They're coming
He's a
away
college
from the
guard,
basket.
yeah, but like
your goal is
no.
to go towards the basket.
That nigga
Majority
nice.
of the time, we know who's gonna win that battle. But this takes being able to separate
y'all-
out. Maybe you get a little bit of contact first
I was
as you
about
kind
to say
of
something
bounce
about
out, but it's
foul
just
much
giving you
lighter, nigga,
options.
no
It's
cap.
giving you some space to work with. It's allowing you to kind of refine this composure and then reevaluate and attack from there. Next one is just keep it simple. A lot of the time, just like you try to speed it up a little bit too much, we try to overcomplicate a little bit too much. We think that doing a bunch of moves is going to help us out, when in reality, most times when you see offensive players use a bunch of moves and hit a bunch of combos, that's usually either not on good defense or when they're really in a flow state and they don't have that feeling that they're getting locked up. I'd argue that most times when we succeed on good defense, it's from keeping it simple, making maybe one.
Now,
quick
once you
move,
beat a good defense a couple times, that's when you're able to do a little more because they start guarding you different. You can do a little more when they start guarding
using
you
these
different.
other techniques,
You gotta just
rather
get
than
to your
just trying
spot.
to dribble our way out of that. Now, of course, there's always going to be
Luke.
exceptions to this, but I would strongly suggest just trying to keep it simple, trying to take the easiest option, maybe a shot, maybe a simple drive, maybe a pass like we'll talk about later. And this allows you to kind of build your momentum because you're not doing a bunch of different things and getting no results from it. You're just making the simple, easy play, getting a quick win. Next one, and maybe the most important one, is just being comfortable adjusting. When you're playing against good defense, when you have a strong contest on you, when you're at the rim with a big defender who's a great shot blocker, you're going to have to adjust, right? These aren't going to be these clean cut with a big defender who's a great
Get that bitch over here faster.
job
Finish with that. Follow
blocker.
all the way.
You're gonna have to adjust, right? These aren't gonna be these clean cut plays that we do a lot of time in a workout where it's perfect technique. You're gonna have to fade a little bit. You're gonna have to adjust your timing a little bit. You're gonna have to take some contact. These aren't gonna be always perfect plays, so we have to get comfortable with that imperfection. And a lot of this is decided from how we train. If we only train perfection, if we never train to fade and to be a little bit off balance and to adjust, chances are when we get into a game and we're playing against good defense, we're not going to be able to do this in this environment either. So be comfortable with the uncomfortable, train to adjust a little bit. Another interesting point I want to make is that when you're being defended very well, usually the mid-range is where you're going to find a lot of success. Usually this is going to be an option for more manageable, less forced shot. So just imagine yourself being defended by a really good defender. It's going to be tough for you to get to the rim. Again, even if you make something happen, they're going to recover. You're going to be a little bit out of control. You can make it work, but it's probably going to be tough. Three-pointers, you'll probably be able to get off a little bit easier because they're not going to be defending you as closely for the most part. But these are going to be tougher because they're threes, they're further shots. More can go wrong. So if you're able to get into that mid-range area, you don't necessarily need to get all the way to the rim. You can stop short. You
going to the league?
Short area. You don't necessarily
He going to the league? He getting that mid.
need to get all the way to the rim. You can stop short. You can shoot a little short jumper, a little post fadeaway. You can come to 2 feet, get yourself in.
Yeah, now he not Jalen Brunson though. Yeah, Jalen Brunson is different.
You can shoot a little short jumper, a little post fadeaway. You can come to 2 feet, get yourself in control, and then work out of there. So this is kind of the middle ground between shooting kind of a crazy three, getting to the rim for a little bit of an out of control finish. And most defenders don't really expect this as much anyways. They're either defending you for a full drive or to stop that 3-point shot and to get a great contest on that. Plus, in the mid-range, typically we can elevate a little bit more. For example, when I'm shooting a three, since it's a further shot, I need more power on it. I'm probably gonna have to shoot that with a little bit lower of a release point versus when we're in the mid-range, we can raise that release point a little bit because we don't need as much power, which means we can shoot over defenders a little bit more and have it still be a manageable shot. And then the last 2 things I would suggest are just to maintain your composure mentally and then to just pass if you need to. So in terms of maintaining your composure, it's not just being able to stay composed physically, right, and play at a little bit slower speeds,
fast
but
as
it's
you
being
need
able
to.
to turn the ball over, to get blocked or whatever, and still attack that next play with the same level of focus and intent and positivity. And part of this includes the second one, which is passing. If they're face guarding us the whole game, if they're playing really good defense and we just make the right passes, sometimes when we're really getting locked up, it's okay to accept that, make that smart play, and then allow the game to come to us.
Yeah, that's a lot of. If you're getting locked up, for the most part, nigga, you supposed to be able to still be able to get open and do shit within the means of an offense, though. Like, no matter how good of a player is, you're going to, like, if y'all play basketball the right way, you're going to be able to get some open looks. Like, you look at the Suns play, Kevin Durant gets open threes. Like, he gets open looks. Like, because you have to guard niggas still. Like, if you play basketball the right way, niggas usually get shots.
Tired. Maybe they just give up a little bit on playing full out defense.
You
So the
gotta beat a
opportunities
nigga
will
usually
come to
once.
you. But don't be
You
afraid
gotta
to pass
just
the
beat
ball
somebody good
sometimes.
enough
So as
one
always,
time
hopefully this helped you guys
finish.
out a little bit at least. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in and always playing a part of the journey. Make sure to stay tuned with everything that we're doing. Not only the content, but we're traveling around to over 25 countries this year for camp. We have our virtual academy going as well, where you're gonna have the best, most comprehensive training programs online. We got our summer academy in
Hey, make
Miami,
sure y'all like, comment,
our
subscribe.
nonprofit. So we got a lot of cool stuff going
All my
on. I'll
hoopers
link
out
all of
here.
that in the description,
Make sure
and
y'all
in the
getting
comments.
better.
And hope
Make sure y'all churning. Make sure y'all niggas putting forth that work, man. We out this jump. Hey. Everybody can put our file. Hey.